me physically. But once they put that in you physically, now.
All right, shalom, shalom. This is Arakar Ruben coming out of the Lion's Den of Yasharala Camp. First and foremost, want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ha, Rakah, Kodash, Ma'amah. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Also to my elder as well down here in the Lion's Den of Yasharala Camp, Mahara 1. Salutations to all the Akim around the four corners of the earth, pushing truth, sincerity. Today I have a lesson, Lord willing, is edifying to the hopeful elect out there, and also the men, women, and children that believe in sincerity as well, man. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and start this clip right on time.
Like Mark of the Beast. And what's going to happen is when they got, so that's headed towards that.
Right.
So the chip, it's to condition your mind. So it'd be like, oh, we've always been tapping. We've always been using cryptocurrency. We've always been, doing it this way. So when you get the chip, you ain't going to think nothing of it because you won't be like, nah, they've always been doing it similar to this, right?
Akon, man, and that's what they started doing heavily, during 2020 with the lockdown and everything. They was pushing up the C-Hip at the grocery stores. When you come into the line, hey, make sure you use your chip. Make sure you use your chip. Make sure you use your chip. Referring to your card. All right, they got the chip reader and everything in there like that. But getting people acclimated to know, getting people acclimated to the point of the matter of when the actual C-Hip comes around and being integrated inside of the body, the people will be used to it. So when it actually comes around, the people won't complain as much. They won't complain about it as much. It's gradualism. They feeding it to the people slowly. So when it finally gets it, oh yeah, shit, I've been doing it this whole time. Might well go ahead for the whole shebang, So I'm just gonna finish letting the video play.
Be activated as your credit card. Been tapping. We've always been using cryptocurrency. We've always been, doing it this way. So when you get the chip, you ain't gonna think nothing of it because you won't be like, nah, they've always been doing it similar to this, right? So the chip, when they put it inside of you, is gonna be activated as your credit card. So long story short, now you could just, if they put it in your forehead or your wrist, now you could just slide your arm or slide your head, whatever they decide to put it in. And they're going to say, oh, there's all these good things about it. And this is where they manipulate / trick you / deceive you. They're going to say, you know why the chip is good? Because now no one could come up to you and just rob you and take your cash. You know why the chip is good? Because if you get kidnapped, I can find you and locate you with the chip. They're going to tell you all these great things. But here's the part that they don't tell you. If you do not comply with the government and you do not do what the government says, all they got to do is simply turn that chip off. And now your credit card don't work. And now you can't even go to Carl's Jr. and get a cheeseburger. Now you can't even go get tacos or eat. And now, in order for that chip to be turned back on / activated, you got to be under control and the mercy of the government and what they tell you to do to be able to even shop for food or whatever else is that you want to get. And so all that is leading towards that, man. So I tell people you're soon enough going to be backed up into having to make the decision of accept or don't accept. But when it comes down to it, and people always, and that's how they control you. And people always say, oh, they got you control on your phone. No, they don't. Because I can take this phone, I can throw it in a river, and you no longer got anything on me physically. But once they put that in you physically, now you're under control because that's your credit card, that's your currency, that's your money, that's your whole damn life right there.
Right.
And again, a lot of this is exposed. You guys can watch the documentary with your own eyes. And to go one step farther, respectfully, it's all in the Bible.
Right.
It's all in Revelations. It's right there in black print.
Right.
So all I'm saying is, but if you want to see some current, watch America Faces of Freedom. You'll get a wake-up call right there, and it shows you how and why this is happening, because this is all leading up to the one world government, the one world currency, the one world currency.
So man, yeah, basically that's what they're getting ready to do. This is his name right here. I ain't know how to pronounce it. Noel Gugliemi. So basically, man, he said a couple of points. For instance, for one, I want to start right here, 2 Ezra 15 to 17. Matter of fact, let's pause it real quick. So man, yeah, going into it, that system, the Mott D, starting off with the basis of it, with the digital ID, as it says right here, EU declares U.S. citizens who refuse a biometric digital ID will be banned from Europe. So Con, man, hey, that's just the beginning of it, man. You know, this is basically like this is like the foundation of it, you know. Hey, then the icing on the cake is gonna be when they actually gonna integrate it inside of the hand. All right. So with that being said, if you don't be down with this new system when it comes, all right, the Mach B, all right, that C hip, all right, you won't be able to do anything. All right, as it says, all right, the EU just stated that Americans won't be able to travel to Europe without it, you know. So it says, Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Why won't you be able? Why? Because you don't have that Esau's digital dog tag, man. That way he can keep up with you. That way he can control you. That way he can turn the shot caller on when he needs to. Hey, you know, whatever the case may be, deduct money from you. All right, as he mentioned in the video too as well, man. All right. But yet you got the brother on there, you know, speaking on the Mach B, but yet you got assholes, idiots out here that don't even refer to it. And just like he mentioned, man, oh yeah, a lot of people say it's the cell phone. I can get the cell phone, I can throw this away. Then they won't be able to keep up with me no more. Hey, you know, right. You know, so that's how you know, hey, that it's going to be inside of the hand, all right? So with that being said, I'm going to bring out Revelation 13 to 16. It says he calls of all, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right. So when you go into that word mark, it goes back to the word karagma. It goes to the Greek karagma, which means cut or incision. So that's how you know it's going to be inside of the hand, integrated inside of the hand, not placed in the hand, not sitting in the palm. You know, it's going to be inside of the hand. All right. So therefore, if you don't have it, all right, going to verse 17, it says that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. All right. You know, so with that being said, if you don't have that Mach B, if you don't have that mark, if you don't have Esau's insignia, it's not even an insignia. If you don't have Esau's stamp, their brand, you won't be able to participate in society, man. As the WEF, World Economic Forum, stated maybe a year or two ago, man, if you don't be down with the digital system, you won't be able to participate in society. So therefore, that's why we have to trust in the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh, man. You know, don't worry about what you should eat, what you should drink, or what you should wear. You know, those are things that the Gentiles seek after. The Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh know that we need after those things, so therefore he's going to provide them for us. So that's why we're going to trust and have faith in the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh, man. You know, and that's why the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh tell us to measure the times diligently within itself too as well, man. So that way we can see the time that we're in, the era that we're in. All right, you know what period, what quarter, you know, whatever the case may be, however you look at it, man. So right now we're in the fourth quarter. We're in the last period of the day, you know. We're in the fourth quarter, so therefore we got to make sure we're on our P's and Q's going hard. That way so we can go home, all right, you know, for the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh, man. You know. So you had this man, what his name is again, Noel Gugliemi, all right, speaking on the Mach B, but yet you got Nate the Snake, Tazariak, so forth and so forth, that don't even acknowledge the Mach B. They say it's Christianity, the so-called white man, they embargo the cell phone. Hey, once again, we know it's not none of these things, man. Why? Because without the Mach B, you won't be able to participate in society, all right? So with that being said, now that we're coming up in these times when the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh words, all right, are coming into fruition, all right, you're going to have these false prophets. Guess what? They're going to be ashamed of the BS that comes out of their mouth, that came out of their mouth. Why? Because they're just speaking out the side of their neck. And the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh is pulling back the curtains, all right, revealing that they're no true prophet, man. And revealing that he's not dealing with them. He's revealing that the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh not dealing with these other camps and certain individuals out here, man. You know. So with that being said, these false prophets, all right, when this time come, all right, and even in the times that we're in now, they see it building up. They see it getting to that escalation point of where all shit is gonna hit the fan and splatter everywhere, man. And then all your lies is gonna just be uncovered, all right, and revealed to everyone. All right, this is Zechariah chapter 13, verse 4. It says, "And it shall come to pass in that day that the prophet shall be ashamed every one of his vision, when he hath prophesied, neither shall they wear a rough garment to deceive." So come, man, these false prophets are going to be ashamed of their vision. Why? Because the things that they were speaking on, it's not going to come to pass, man. All right. So therefore, if it's not coming to pass, you don't have anything to worry about with that false prophet. All right. Why? Because he's speaking the things that he wants to happen, that he think, that he feels, that he hopes. All right. Hopes void of understanding that. So he hoping these things. All right. Want certain things to come to pass that goes contrary to the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. But it doesn't matter what we want. It doesn't matter what we think. It doesn't matter what we feel, man. As scriptures say, let the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua be made true, and let every man be made out a liar, man. All right. So therefore, if you're not speaking according to the will of the Lord, with the will of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, you're going against him, man. And by you going against him, your ass is going to be exposed and numbered to that sword, all right? So come, man. Hey, these prophets are going to be ashamed of their vision, all right? This is Deuteronomy chapter 18, and I'm going to start at verse 18, all right? So what scripture say, roughly paraphrasing, if they speak not according to this book, it's because there's no light in them. All right. So this is Deuteronomy chapter 18, and I'm going to start at verse 18. It reads, "I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto thee, and I will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak to them all that I shall command him." All right. First and foremost, that's the Lord Yahweh Shai, man. All right. "And it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him." All right. So with that being said, the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua set up prophets, all right, in these times, okay? All right. First and foremost, hey, that's why scripture tell us to mark the perfect man. That perfect man is the Lord Yahushua himself, but also too as well within these times, the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua set up prophets, elders, and apostles, and so forth, in order for us to follow after, man, in order for us to be guided by, all right, by way of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, all right. So it says, verse 19, "And it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him." So not taking heed to the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, hey, it says, "Whosoever will not hearken to my words, he was going to require it of him," man. So you're going to be guilty by not being able to wash that blood off your hands once it came to the realization that you had it on there, man. All right, by the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, by way of his prophets telling you about the things that's to come, but you don't take heed to prepare yourself, man. All right. So yeah, you're going to be numbered to the sword because you got that warning, but you didn't take heed to that warning. You continue to indulge in that folly, so therefore you're going to get caught up in the destruction, man. All right, destruction, whether it be famine, pestilence, or the uttermost destruction, where it's prophesied for this place to be hit with 200 million thermonuclear warheads, man. All right. Verse 20 of Deuteronomy 18, it says, "But the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or that shall speak in the name of other gods, even that prophet shall die." So if you getting out here speaking lies, and the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua command you to get out here and speak lies, all right, hey, you're going to be numbered to the sword, man. Your ass going to be numbered to the sword. Once again, whether that be the famine, the pestilence, or utmost those ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles, man. It's prophesied for 200 million missiles to hit this place, okay? And if you're not speaking according to the gospel of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, doing the things that are pleasing to him, shit, you won't be able to be delivered from this destruction that's to come, man. All right. So come, man. So if you out here speaking the name of other gods and wasn't commanded to get out here and speak first and foremost on top of that, the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is going to require it of you. It says, even that prophet shall die. So therefore, by you hearkening to all these lies, all your servants are wicked. So they're going to be guilty by association too as well, man. So once again, that's why you got to mark the perfect man, and that perfect man being starting off with the Lord Yahweh Shai, and then up under him is the men that he set down here to watch over our souls, all right, during these times, all right, guiding us to salvation, getting us closer to the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. But yet one will say, how would we know the true prophet from the false prophet, all right? This is verse 21 of Deuteronomy 18. It says, and if thou say in thine heart, how shall we know the word which the Lord hath not spoken, all right? Well, first and foremost, according to Revelation 19:10, the Spirit of the Lord, all right, the Spirit of the Lord, the testimony of the Lord is the spirit of prophecy, man. And what does prophecy means? To say before, all right? So therefore, we say these things before they come to pass. And we say these things before they come to pass. Why? Because we get that fair warning from the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, so we freely receive, so we get out here and freely give, man. So it says, when a prophet speaketh in the name of the Lord, if the thing follow not, nor come to pass, that is the thing which the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai have not spoken. So come, man, once again, the Spirit of the Lord is the spirit of prophecy, man. So therefore, if the things don't come to pass, the air quotation prophets, false prophets have spoken of, if it don't come to pass, you know that they're not of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Why? Because the true men of the Lord are going to be speaking according to things that the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai informed us about, man. All right, which is in and throughout this book. That's why he told us to consume the whole road. That way we can be prepared for when, once again, shit go down, shit hit the fan, man. All right. It says, when the prophet speaketh in the name of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, if the thing follow not, nor come to pass, that is the thing which the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai have not spoken. But the prophet hath spoken it presumptuously, thou shalt not be afraid of him. So you won't have nothing to worry about. Why? Because he spoke that BS out the side of his neck, man. So therefore, that's something that he wants to come to pass, that he hopes to come to pass, the hopes of, without not in the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai establishment of prophecy, what he has to come to pass, man. So come, all right. The things that they speak on is not going to come to pass. Oh yeah, we're not going to go through any great tribulation before we enter the kingdom of heaven. When Scripture clearly says otherwise, through great tribulation shall we enter the kingdom of heaven. All right, Jacob's trouble is just not a thing. All right. So that's why, hey, you got to mark the perfect man. Why? Because if they're blowing that trumpet and that trumpet giving an uncertain sound, you won't be able to prepare yourself properly for the battle that's to come. Henceforth, that hour of temptation is going to be brought upon the whole world, man. So if you're not prepared for that properly, you will fall subject victim to it. All right. All right. So when they come around offering that might be, hey, shit, either get down to lay down, either get with the program or get your ass lost. Hey, what's it gonna be, man? Hey, shit, who you gonna stand for within that time? You either gonna stand for the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, or you gonna lay down for Esau, man. All right. But if you lay down for Esau, your ass gonna be numbered to the sword. And I'll wrap it up with that. This is Revelation chapter 14, verse 9, starting at verse 9. And it reads, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And that's self-explanatory, man. Hey, shit, if you take that Mark B, your ass is going to be numbered to the sword, all right? Whether that's, once again, that sword be famine, pestilence, or at most those ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles, man, when it's prophesied for 200 million missiles to hit this place, all right? So come, man, with that being said, once again, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ha, Rakah, Kodash, Ma'amah. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Also to my elder as well, down here in the Lions in the Yasharala camp, Mahara 1. Salutations to all the Akiran and four corners of earth, put some truth and sincerity. Hey, Shalom, man, keep pushing, we're almost out of here. Shalom, GTA.